Before we start today's show, we know there's been a lot of talk about the new prom guidelines, so we wanted you to hear about it from the principals themselves.
This year the change for prom will be there will be no vulgar dancing at the prom. If they are, then they'll be asked to leave the dance, and that's the only change we have. Anything sexual nature and inappropriate will not be allowed.
Like we were discussing earlier, it's not all of the students who participate in this kind of vulgar dancing. It's only a small portion of them. And we're not out to punish anybody. We're just really trying to teach a life lesson of respect and how dates need to respect their dates, and that's just not an appropriate way to behave at a dance.
Yeah, we need ladies and gentlemen to act and behave like ladies and gentlemen, and we haven't seen that from the past few dances. I'll just add this. Our goal is not to kick anybody out of prom. That is not what we want to do at all. But we want you to look back and have fond memories of prom. And so our goal is not to remove anybody, but we just hope everybody can take these new guidelines and follow them.
Good afternoon, this is Highlander Happenings. I'm Isaiah Hill.
And I'm Annie O'Rourke. Last Thursday, I got to sit in on the Senior Color Day to see what it's all about.
Last Thursday, the seniors celebrated Color Day. This year's class chose the colors Black and Cabernet. Students were asked to wear these colors as a whole for this day to represent the graduating class of 2016. The flower was a peony. The day started out with a big senior breakfast. After that, everyone went to the auditorium for the ceremony. They then revealed the flag that showed the flower and colors, and the homeroom representatives were recognized also. Following that, the students got to show off their talent in the senior showcase.
I'd like to take this time to say a few special words to a very special someone. Guys, Ryan Andrew McGuffin, hoping that he's the happiest girl in the world, will you be my date to my senior prom?
Thanks, Annie. With the West Virginia primary election coming up, Chip Sweeney caught up with the HHS students to get their take on the issues and the candidates.
Let's take a look.
With the 2016 presidential election coming up, election fever has hit the United States, and its effects are reaching the students of Huntington High.
With a variety of candidates in the race, you aren't likely to find two students at Huntington High who have the exact same views. I spoke to several Huntington High students on who they prefer in the race and why they prefer this candidate.
I support John Kasich for the Republican nomination and eventually for the general election to be our next president. He is a proven Republican. He sticks with what he believes, but he's also not too extreme to be elected over Hillary Clinton. He has a great history in Ohio where he balanced the budget. He also balanced the budget in Congress for the first time since man landed on the moon. Everything he does is just unifying. He's not polarizing like other candidates of ours like Donald Trump or Ted Cruz. He's able to unify both parties. He's done it in Washington, he's done it in Ohio, and I know that he'll be able to do it again.
I think John Kasich is the best option because He's most moderate and most level-headed, and he seems to know what he's talking about.
As of right now, I am more of a Bernie Sanders supporter than a Hillary Clinton, but I am fine with either candidate winning the presidency. I support Bernie Sanders because he's not one of the bought-off politicians that do whatever the corporations tell them to do, and he has roots in civil rights movements from the 50s where he was arrested for protesting.
The election may not be until November, but many students at Huntington High are already in full election mode. From Huntington High, I'm Chip Sweeney.
Thanks, Chip.
Earlier this semester, Lisa Williams received the Teacher of the Year award. Ryan and I were able to chat with Mrs. Williams about her accomplishments.
My number one moments have to be when I help kids be successful. There was a child who wasn't going to graduate, and I helped work on recovery school with him and got him to graduate. So I think all my number one moments have to be with kids, just helping them be successful. There are a lot of hard times in teaching. Probably my most difficult time in teaching has been in the far past, and I just like to leave it there. So it would be a quote that a professor for Marshall used to say all the time, Dr. Stan Maynard, and he said, if you knew how much pain walked through the door every day, you would do nothing to add to it. And I really like that, and I tried to live by that. Make sure that you love this job. Make sure that you really care about the kids that you're working with, because there are a lot of things that are difficult about teaching, but all of that can fall by the wayside as long as you really love what you're doing and you love the kids that you're working with.
Thanks again, Mrs. Williams, for all that you've done for Huntington High students.
You may have noticed some empty seats in your classes. That's because the speech and debate team is participating in the state competition this week. Nakai and Issa were able to touch base with Miss Freeman.
Hi, Huntington High. Speech and debate is really an awesome thing. It's something that isn't well announced around the school, but it is amazing what it does for you as a person. It just changes your whole life. Being able to speak and communicate is what it teaches. It's not just about public speaking. There are public speaking events, there's limited preparation events where you have to do it within a certain amount of time. You have to prep and then you perform. That's pretty awesome. But it's also acting events, and that's what a lot of people do. They love it. Also, there's debate. So there's many, many sides to speech and debate. But we are on our way to states, and we did very well this year with 7 old students and the rest were new, if you can believe that. So we've taken home a lot of wins, a lot of trophies, or gold as you would call it. But my motto is trophies draw dust, but what you learn does not. If we could beat Wheeling Park, they've won for 37 straight years states, so if we could beat them, we will break their record. I don't know if we can, but we're going to work pretty hard to try. So if you're interested in the speech and debate team, we'd love to have you come out. But I'm so proud of my students and how hard they've worked. So next year we'll open up a new year and you can come out and join. Thank you.
Wow, good luck, guys.
As we all know, spring break is next week. And while we know that we're all ready for some time off, Ryan and Dylan thought they'd see what the teachers have planned for their time off.
I plan on working outside in the yard and getting my house ready for summer.
I am looking forward to spring break. Looking forward to hopefully good weather. As for spring break, I got 2 young girls, and one of my 9-year-old daughter has an assignment to go to hot spots in West Virginia and see some historical sites. So not very cool. We're not going to any exotic beach, but we're going to be going to some places around West Virginia to show her some things she's been studying in West Virginia studies. So some different places, probably 3 different places in West Virginia we'll be going visiting. I wouldn't say I'm more excited than the students. I'm 40 and not cool, so it's I wouldn't say I'm going anywhere that you guys are probably going to the beach or doing some fun stuff. I'm an old man, so I won't be going anywhere special. I'll just be looking forward to the break and get everybody fresh to come back from spring break to work.
I am. It's on my calendar, and I've been counting down. I'm going to New Orleans first. I'm looking forward to a ghost tour and some delicious beignets. and then I'm going to visit my in-laws in Mobile, Alabama.
Thanks, guys. That's all the time we have for today. We'll see everyone after break.
All right, Isaiah, let's go work on our tans.